All right, let's dive into something that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Connecting the regular phone in your pocket directly to a satellite orbiting in space without any special gadgets. Let's break down how this is even possible.
You know that feeling, right? That sinking pit in your stomach when you're lost, or you have an emergency, or you just desperately need to send one text and you look down and see it. No bars. It's one of the most maddening, universal frustrations of modern life. But what if that could just go away forever?
Okay, so first things first, we have to understand why this is so darn difficult to begin with. The core of it is a massive physics problem. It's all about making a tiny, tiny whisper from your phone heard across what is basically a giant, empty, and very noisy stadium. Your phone is an absolute marvel of engineering, no doubt, but its little antenna is designed to talk to a cell tower maybe a few miles away. It was never built to talk to a satellite that's screaming through orbit 550 kilometers above your head. Its signal is incredibly weak by the time it travels that far. So the crucial question is, how on earth do you bridge that enormous distance? Researchers have actually put a number on this problem. For a standard 5G phone to talk to a Starlink satellite, there's a signal gap of at least 4 decibels. Now, just think of decibels as a measure of volume. The satellite simply can't hear the phone because the signal is 4 decibels too quiet. That's the mountain that had to be climbed. So if one satellite can't hear the whisper, what's the solution? Well, you get a whole group of them to listen together. And this idea, this teamwork in space, is the key to a truly incredible technological breakthrough. On its own, a single satellite receives a signal that's just too weak. You can see it there on the left, like that faint little line. But, and this is the genius part, what if you could get multiple satellites to focus on the exact same spot on Earth and combine their power? Their signals basically add up, creating one powerful, concentrated beam that's more than strong enough to close that 4 decibel gap. Now, the technical term for this is distributed beamforming, and this analogy just nails it. By coordinating perfectly, the satellites can digitally combine all those faint whispers they hear from your phone into one clear, understandable signal. It's a mind-blowing feat of synchronization and processing. And this chart really shows you just how powerful this new technique is. See, older multi-satellite technology could give you a 3 decibel boost. But with distributed beamforming, the same 2 satellites can get you a 6 decibel boost. That's double the power gain. This technology doesn't just meet that 4 decibel requirement, it absolutely smashes right through it. But this groundbreaking tech didn't just appear in a quiet lab somewhere. Oh no, it was supercharged by some very high-stakes business drama between 2 of the biggest names in the entire world, Elon Musk and Tim Cook. So get this. In 2022, right before the iPhone 14 launch, Musk goes to Apple with this huge offer, exclusive use of Starlink for its satellite features. The price? A cool $5 billion upfront. And he gave them an exploding 72-hour deadline to say yes. I mean, it was an incredibly bold, almost aggressive move. And Tim Cook said no. Apple decided to partner with a smaller, more established satellite company, Globalstar, instead. Musk's response was swift. He immediately announced a partnership with Apple's biggest rival, T-Mobile, to build his own direct-to-cell service. Then SpaceX went on the attack, legally challenging Globalstar's rights to the very wireless frequencies Apple was now depending on. And to make things even more complicated for Apple, that decision wasn't exactly a slam dunk inside the company. Reports started coming out that some senior executives were really worried, describing their new partner, Globalstar's network, as aging. It kind of suggests that even within Apple, the path they chose was seen as a major gamble. So, with the battle lines clearly drawn, SpaceX didn't just talk. They started launching. Let's take a look at what the Starlink direct-to-cell network actually is today. This isn't just a PowerPoint slide anymore. Since the start of 2024, SpaceX has launched over 663 of these dedicated direct-to-cell satellites. They're building a brand new constellation in the sky just for this service, and they're doing it at an incredible pace. And you gotta remember, they're building this on an enormous foundation. The main Starlink network already has over 9 million subscribers around the world. This gives them a massive existing infrastructure, a huge user base, and a ton of money to fund this incredibly ambitious new project. So what can this network actually do for you? Well, the rollout is happening in phases. Right now, the service allows for text messaging, which is perfect for emergencies. But the next steps are the big ones: voice calls and data, promising to bring a much more complete internet experience to every single corner of the globe. As amazing as this all sounds, it's not a perfectly solved problem just yet. There are still some immense engineering challenges that have to be overcome to make this seamless and totally reliable for everyone. So, what are those last few hurdles? Let's take a quick look at the really complex problems that engineers are working furiously to solve as we speak. First is synchronization. For that beamforming trick to work, the signals from multiple satellites have to arrive at your phone at the exact same nanosecond. Second is something called the Doppler effect. You know how an ambulance siren changes pitch as it speeds past you? The same thing happens with radio waves from a satellite moving at over 27,000 kilometers per hour. This has to be perfectly corrected for in real time. And finally, there's just the sheer complexity of managing a constantly moving web of thousands of satellites. But as these challenges get solved, and they will, the implications are just staggering. We are right on the verge of eliminating cellular dead zones forever. So the question we're left with is this: what does a world with truly ubiquitous, uninterrupted connectivity actually look like? That's something we're all about to find out.